How you doing?
Mm,
How you feeling?
mm,
Okay. One of those is going to be one of those episodes, huh? This is not clickbait.
Oh, baby. We here.
Wish, yeah.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS.
Talk about a Thursday night classic. This is a perfect football game. Nothing to complain about on my end. Lions got the win. I would have been okay with it if the Packers won because of the way the Packers played. It was a very respectable football game, start to finish. Very enjoyable.
It usually is at the end of the season. They usually throw all the division games back there and week 18 just to make it interesting. They usually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's horrific. I don't know what that that's but yes, you're welcome. You're welcome.
That beardless Perna. Whoa.
There you go.
That's
what the internet's made for. Yeah, lot to talk about last night. A disappointing loss for the Packers. It was, and you're right, it was a really, really fun game.
It was.
Especially a lot better in the second half for the Packers. But yeah, I think you just saw two teams like going toe to toe, representing the division, which was super cool. And obviously the Lions coming out on top. And there's controversy because of course there is, with the officiating and stuff like that. We'll talk about that a little bit too. But overall, man, like it was a really good football game. It sucks because I know Javon Bullard, he was walking around, I think, on crutches afterwards. So we'll see how injured he is. Evan Williams got banged up again, which sucks because there go our starting safeties. So that's never good. And our secondary was already hurt. Jair Alexander's not there. And I
think that kind of evened things out a little bit.
It did.
Because, I mean, it was disproportionate. Detroit, I think they've got, hold on. I wrote it down.
They both had 7 calls called against them.
Yeah. 10 defensive linemen out for Detroit going into that game, right? We know that. That was the big story. But that first half, it felt like Packers were dropping like flies.
Yeah, the kip up was amazing. Yeah,
that was some of the coolest shit I have ever seen.
Which, by the way, listen, I don't want to be that guy, but holy crap, Kirby Joseph, can we not go for players' knees? I'm just asking. You've already injured multiple other players this year, so maybe we just calm down there.
Tackling. There's no protection for the knees. It's tackling.
Okay, just saying. Little low. But yes, amazing play by.
I got to call foul there, but I'll let you guys.
He didn't already injure multiple players this year. I'm just saying.
Are you gonna hit? Was that Tucker Kraft?
That was Tucker Kraft.
First of all, he didn't even touch him. So
he just missed because he didn't tackle.
He didn't touch him. Second of all, are you gonna hit Tucker Kraft high? Have you seen that man?
Oh no, he's gonna run through you.
This right here, that guy might be invincible.
I love Tucker Kraft.
I think the only way you can take Tucker Kraft out is with a bat to the knee.
Yeah,
I've got so much. Tucker Kraft is my favorite Packer now.
Dude, he is. I am so grateful that he is on this football team.
You guys lost the game, but we've got the Saquon highlight.
Yep.
We got Josh Allen getting a receiving touchdown.
Yep.
And you got Tucker Kraft going from, is he going to be on a stretcher to, oh my God, this guy could perform in the Olympics.
Dude, like, it was so funny too, because he did a kip up and I was like, did I just see what I saw? Because obviously as a wrestling fan too, like that was amazing. So, and in full pads and a helmet, like, yeah, it was impressive. But to your point, yeah, like the Packers' injuries in the secondary, I think made it more of an even game on defense, considering how many Lions players were out. And dude, like it was just, they went toe to toe with one another. And like, it sucks that there's even any controversy there. But at the end of the day, like I said this last night, the Packers had ample opportunities to win that football game, you know, and like they had the touchdown taken off the board, which sucks. You know, it's never great with the pick play, but I mean, Dan Campbell going for it on 4th down 5 times last night and getting it 4 out of 5 times, including on the last drive where they could just kick the field goal and give the ball back to Jordan Love with like 30 to 40 seconds left, and they decide not to. And Jared Goff trips when he goes to hand the ball off. Like that could have been a disaster.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, the Packers, they didn't do enough on defense to get the stop, and ultimately the Lions won that game. So it was super fun. It was a great game. It was a super duper physical game. But yeah, I hope the Packers have another chance in the postseason, because this felt like a playoff game. Like
I don't think it
felt like a playoff game, and I was like, okay, maybe we get another chance to get another crack at him.
I think externally, both teams would be like, yeah, let's do it in the playoffs. But I don't think either one of those teams actually want to play each other in the playoffs. Like, unless the Lions get healthy, there's like no distinct advantage at the moment. I think the thing that Green Bay did surprisingly well was shut down the Lions' run game.
Yeah.
And I think like both teams ended up with over 100 rushing yards, but in terms of the amount of times Detroit ran the ball, and the amount of times your defensive line just blew the play up. Like, if you're gonna hang your hat on something, it's like you did not allow Detroit's offense to really play the game that they wanted to.
Sure.
Which is a little bit scary because Detroit still controlled the ball for like 10 or 11 more minutes.
36 minutes, around like 23. Yep.
They didn't give up on running the football, and a lot of teams would in those situations. But I was very impressed with how Green Bay shut that down. Second to Dan Campbell's giant testicles. I looked up things this morning that could give Matt LaFleur bigger testicles, and that there's no positive way to give yourself bigger testicles.
Yeah, I think that,
and I think he needs that a little bit. Because my other take is Matt LaFleur might be the most annoying sideline head coach, and every time they cut to LaFleur, he's at 11 of anger.
Yeah,
he is always just livid.
It's good.
Like, he needs to chill down. He needs to chill a little bit.
Well, dude, did you see a fan get in his face before the game? Yeah.
I both love and hate that whole situation. I hate that a fan's on the field and he's talking shit to a coach. Seems a little lame, but I love that LaFleur got in his face.
Oh yeah, because he was like going after his players and doing this. Yeah, go get him
in a different way.
The cardiac cats, because Lions fans be stressing at the end of that game.
Man, I think
stressing. But yes, so I think about this. You look at the first half, and the second half, we kind of threw out the defenses completely.
Hold on. Keep that thought. Trauma, infection, fluid buildup.
Are you talking about how to make your balls bigger?
Or testicle cancer. Those are the ways your balls can get bigger, and I don't want any of that.
I saw that South Park episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Randy, but
he has a health thing going on. Yeah, so hopefully he is all right.
Continue.
In the first half, like you couldn't tell that the Lions defense was injured. I mean, they were Zadarius Smith got an early sack on Jordan Love, and then dude, like they were stopping the run. The Packers were trying to throw the ball, wouldn't let them. Christian Watson, of course, fumbled that ball, which did not help.
Yeah, and that was a weird fumble too. That was a good defensive play.
Of course, it stayed in bounds too, because
because you can't even put it on Watson. Like he's going down, and he's just trying not to fall on his face, and he gets kind of knocked out.
Yeah, so I think it's a huge kudos to the Lions, especially in that first half on defense, because they really dominated. And then coming out of that second half, the Packers offense really started looking good. They get a touchdown their first drive. Then it's the interception on Jared Goff. Then they get another touchdown. But one of the big problems that you have pulled up there too is look at the Packers on third down, man. They were 1 for 5 last night, which is abysmal. And I think you're going up against a really good third down defense in the Detroit Lions. And we knew that was going to be tough. But
yeah,
man, like that's a part where they can get better. And what I mean by, again, it came down to a game-winning field goal. I think I said in the third quarter, early fourth quarter, I said this game looks like it's going to come down to whoever has the ball last. And listen, Campbell was willing to go for it on fourth down just to make sure the Packers didn't have the ball last.
Yeah.
So
I like that call too.
It's a gutsy call, man.
It's a gutsy call. And Campbell said this after, but like, I was thinking while he was doing that, it's just like, and he didn't say this, but he didn't trust his defense to stop you guys. And he was like, I didn't want our defense back out there because, Green Bay was moving the ball. I think he kind of said that, but I was like, Dan Campbell trusts his offense a lot more than he trusts his defense right now. And it's pretty simple. It's because their defense is very injured.
Sure.
Even though they, like you said, they did a pretty decent job in the first half. Packers kind of had their way with them in the second half. But to know that about your team and then to just trust your offense and then to give the play when it almost blew up in your face.
Oh, man, dude.
The one time the only one I didn't like is when they went for it like from their own 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it gave Green Bay like short field. I'm okay. I'm on the side of like, I'm okay anytime Dan Campbell decides to go for it because body of work, it's paid off. It has been
sure.
It might lose him a game here and there. We'll see what happens in the playoffs. But if Dan can just find the one instance per game where he should just squeeze his testicles down to a normal size. And that was the situation they should have punted away because two of Green Bay's touchdowns came on short field. That's the one you kind of want back. But like, if that's who you are, if that's your identity, then who's to say like when you should dial it back? Maybe just keep the pedal to the freaking metal.
Sure. I mean, like going for it on your own side is tough. I agree with you there. I don't know, man. That going for it on that last fourth down when you're in field goal range, we're all talking about it in a positive light because it worked out. But holy crap, if Jared Goff falls down, and falls on top of that football, and the Packers get the ball back and kick a field goal and win that game, Dan Campbell's getting crucified this morning.
I don't know if Dan is. I think he's earned the leeway.
If they're in field goal range for Jake Bates, and they decide
I don't think he gets the heat that a normal coach does. Because that's their identity. That's what they do.
I got a 50, by the way. Yeah, screw you, dude. Screw you. You can't develop wide receivers, and now they become everybody else's problem. Jerry Jeudy goes off on you. Tim Patrick, who doesn't have a single touchdown with the Lions, gets 2 last night. So
you got to love it for Timmy P.
Thanks.
We developed Patrick, okay? He just got hurt 2 years in a row. Right. And Sean Payton had no loyalty to him. Thank you, Jay. Let's see here. Jay.
It's out there.
There we go.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Consistency.
Yep.
This right here. This is what Packers fans should be proud about, be happy about, and if they do play again, give themselves hope that Green Bay can win.
Jeez.
2.9 yards per carry for Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
That's insane. And then 3.6 for Montgomery. Like that, they were normal football game. I think one of those dudes has 90 or 100 rushing yards in this game. Like one of those plays breaks. Sure. And Jahmyr Gibbs, his longest run was a little bit of luck because it wasn't Clark one of your Packers big defensive linemen was in the backfield
as he handed the ball off.
He was right there. And because he nearly blew that play up, but Gibbs just got around him, that set up his biggest run. So it was a little fluky that even happened.
Well, I mean, you think about talking about the normal play style. I think the Lions knew to take advantage of that secondary, especially when Williams and Bullard went out. And you can look at it because Jared Goff threw the ball 41 times.
Yeah. This is also rare. The Lions ran so many plays.
They ran 76 plays compared to the Packers 45.
Yes, that's nuts. That's why you have Goff throwing it 40 times and them still getting 30 touches to their running backs. Like you don't see that and it's not even it's close to balance, but it's 30 plus carries and 40 passes.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of rare, and Green Bay was, 6.6 yards per play. They were having success, and we thought they would on offense, but man, it was a fun game, and it sucks that the officiating takes a little bit of steam out of it. And for me, watching it on Twitter was very entertaining because it's a reflection. For me, I think how you can get lost in your own team's Twitter sphere, where the outrage was all of Packers Twitter, right?
Yeah.
I think the rest of the football world might be like, yeah, the Lions got away with one, but it wasn't like this big story as it looks in that other sphere. And I looked back because I wanted to really try and like look at it objectively. And the Christian Watson touchdown, or the touchdown that got called back because of Watson, I think that was the right call. And I think a lot of Packers fans were leaning on that as the real issue. And I think the non-holding call on, was it Nixon who busted through?
Yes, but to your point real quick, they're comparing it to the context of Amon-Ra St. Brown doing the same thing and not getting a flag called.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same thing. It was some contact.
But he's not running a route. That's the problem, because it can only happen if you're throwing behind the line of scrimmage. So I don't disagree with you. I think Watson's running a route, but dude, if you lower your shoulder and knock him down, like I don't fault the refs for throwing a flag.
Yeah, that's like in real time. You're like, oh, he knocked him on his ass. Is what it looks like.
This has been the problem with officiating forever. And I said this last night too. If it's my team, I'm going to say the same exact thing. If it was your team or anybody else's team, it's the consistency that's infuriating. Because when it's not consistent for both sides, then it's like, well, that's going to take some steam out of the game.
The Amon-Ra one, you're talking about the one where he caught the pass right at the...
No, that was a push off. I'm saying Amon-Ra St. Brown does a pick play, literally like what Watson does. And he literally runs straight, just does this and stops running around.
Oh, when they got like 3 yards on the swing pass to
give it like whatever.
Yeah. And even that one, like the reason I think it's tough to throw it there versus the one on Watson is like when Watson hit Kirby Joseph, it was Joseph, right? Was it Joseph?
It was Joseph.
Like he fell down. So he hit him, guys on the ground. The other ones that they didn't call, it's like a little bit of contact. And if, like, I'm being honest, like I don't want the one on Amon-Ra called on either one of his routes. Like a little bit of contact there, like that's when games start to get super nitpicky with officiating. And if they start calling that, then it gets annoying. The one with Watson, it's hard to not call because the contact led to a dude falling down, right? And whether that's right or wrong, when you're watching it live, it's like, oh yeah,
it'll look worse than it is.
Yeah, it looks worse.
Yeah, I think
consistency. I think you're right, and you're 100% fair. Like we say it, saying officiating and consistency. Just throw it into GPS at some point, any given week, any given game, and it's because they're not as efficient as they should be.
Correct. And cool blue. Boop. Fade for the kitty. GG's.
Oh, wow. Is that a pancreas?
No, it's unfortunately a loss. But
also the Lions got backed up with that ticky-tacky hold too.
Well, the Nixon hold, I think, is like the most egregious one too. And the NFL editing that out. That one was not great. But again, I'm saying all this with the context of, and still the Packers had an opportunity. Because if you're going in there, and I'm sorry, there's just not the world we live in. If you're going into any NFL game based on, and we have talked about this every year ad nauseum, expecting the officiating to be consistent and perfect, you are watching the wrong sport. And it is infuriating. I would love for it to be more consistent, but the Packers, the truth is, had opportunities to win that football game, even with the officiating not being that great. And yet they didn't do it, and that's just unfortunately the way it's going to go sometimes. Yeah. So it sucks, especially that we're even talking about this. But if we're looking for excuses, you look at the first half in terms of how the Packers played. They did not come out looking good. And on top of that, they couldn't stop them on fourth down. We can convert on third down. And it just led to missed opportunities. So again, the calling back of the touchdown really sucked to take points off the board. And I know that there were some plays that penalties that extended Lions drives and also gave them points. But again, at the end of the game, you have an opportunity to stop them on 4th down when they're crazily going for it.
Yeah.
And then get done.
No, Detroit lost Aleem McNeil in that game too with a head injury. I think they said it's a concussion today. Then during the game, they said not a concussion, a head injury.
Williams got a concussion.
But that's like, McNeil, that's like one of their most important pieces on their defensive line right now. So it's just like
not going to do much worse.
It's like it doesn't matter what happens to the Lions on defense at this point. And I'd almost argue like they got Terry and Arnold back, and they also got their pass interferences going back up on defense as well.
Yeah, they have the most DPIs in the entire league.
Yeah. He was struggling with that before he got hurt too. So,
Fitting.
Oh, cool brew for Timmy Patrick. You are welcome. Let me see here.
Got him. Yeah, no thank you for Tim Patrick. Also, we need corners badly.
I love sex.
It's Tim Patrick. That's for Tim.
I think Tim likes sex too.
Hey, you never know.
Wear a diaper.
But the Packers, so they now get 10 days off. Their next game is in primetime again on Sunday Night Football against the Seahawks. That's going to be a pretty damn big game.
Winnable game.
Yeah, they fall down to 9-4. They're still fine when it comes to the postseason. They got the Seahawks, then they got the Saints, then they got the Vikings, then the Bears. So only 4 games left, which is insane at this point.
That's favorable.
Yeah, I think they win these next 2. They're looking pretty damn good, and they'll see where they're going to fall, within the standings, whether it's the 6th seed or not. And we'll see if the Vikings lose a few games. But yeah, man, it just sucks. It was a tough game.
Yeah, it's a tough one to
That's a tough one to lose, but I'm excited because it does feel like a playoff game. And if we're looking at it from the standpoint of like, hey, can the Packers go toe-to-toe with the Lions? The answer is yes. Yeah, their defense is decimated. We were missing starters as well. We'll see what happens.
It's like I was comparing it to the Monday night game against the Browns. Like if Denver had not finished that game off, I would have just been wrecked the next day because it was an important game, a winnable game.
Yep.
And we got close to blowing it. And so I sympathize with the tough pill that is to swallow, because the other thing Green Bay is doing very well right now is you could argue they might be doing it better than anyone. It's Josh Jacobs in the red zone. Like it's
again with a hat trick again.
Yeah. Nobody could stop him. And I think he had another game where 9 forced missed tackles or something and an X amount of yards after that. Running well in the red zone. That's a very beneficial stat to a football team, specifically as you approach the playoffs. Like it's kind of like having a secret weapon.
And that red zone offense, heading into that Bears game was struggling, but they have been playing much better these past few weeks in the red zone with their offense. Like they were ranked 29th in that Chicago game. So
I think they scored after it too, but Jordan Love missed that easy throw early to Tucker Kraft, and it's
wide open.
It happens every now and then, but
crazy with him.
That was a perfectly executed play by Green Bay, and he just sailed it over. You can see Tucker's disappointment as the ball.
That one throw that Love made, holy God, man! When there was a free rusher coming right at him, and he avoided the pressure. Literally like pocket collapsing, and he throws a perfect ball, dude. Like again, and Jordan Love, this is now the 3rd game in a row without an interception. That's pretty damn great. So Love struggled in the first half. The offensive line did not do its job in the first half. They got better with protection as the night went along. But Love is playing pretty well. So there's stuff to be excited about because I don't think that this is a team that a ton of teams want to play in the postseason. And I think I don't know if we're going to be able to beat like the Eagles or Lions, but dude, any given Sunday. And last night, if that game comes down to the wire again, all right, let's do it.
They are a good team.
Let's do it.
They didn't win, but like,
there you go, Chris.
Oh, and Tree just foretelling exactly how that game was going to end. That son of a bitch. He's too good sometimes.
Too good.
It's like he just pulled it right out of his butt at the end there. And it If you at the end of clickbait, Tree was like, the Lions will win on a game-winning field goal by Jake Bates.
Yep. Because
sometimes when you nail it like that, you gotta take your victory lap, and I hope he did.
And as he should.
He should.
Yeah, Jake Bates. He's that guy. Perna getting a pick.
Oh, Terry. Oh man, Lions fans, I love you. Oh, my nephew too. All right, so my nephew, Walker, over the last 9 months,
Texas
he went from really not caring about sports to he is the most into sports person on earth. He's 6 and he's just watching every highlights, games, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's a Broncos fan. Broncos #1 team. His #2 team, Detroit Lions. He's got a Detroit Lions baseball hat. He was wearing it last night. Game runs long. He had to go to bed. First thing this morning, we got a picture of him on the couch with his Lions hat, watching the highlights to see how that game ended. So Detroit, you got some good company. And I'm proud my nephew is picking the good teams to root for outside of the Broncos.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Oh, Dan Campbell. Yeah. Dan Campbell. Yeah, dude. I mean, Dan Campbell against Packers. Yeah. He's been doing real well.
And don't forget, guys, we also had Khalif Raymond too. And I know he's hurt right now, but Khalif Raymond. We had Graham Glasgow for a little bit after he left Detroit. We just gave him back to you guys. Broncos really helped the Lions when you think about it.
That's true, KK. They were leaning forward in their gaming chairs. They didn't even try any offensive linemen getting the ball, nothing like that. They're just like, nope, we're locked in. And now they clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Eagles. Couldn't get it done. Yeah, 10 days of rest, I think, is going to be good for both teams. I completely and totally agree.
Oh, they both needed it.
Yeah, they definitely do. So hopefully Packers get some players back. Definitely needed before Sunday Night Football.
Who's the most important person out for Green Bay right now?
Not having Cooper is pretty bad. Cooper, him being out sucks because our linebackers right now, not the best.
Yeah.
And,
did Van Ness come back in that game?
He came back, yeah.
Okay.
Jair obviously hasn't played, so that's been disappointing. Yeah, I don't think we had him for a divisional game.
That's rough.
So, no good, but pretty much. But, Perna, power rankings. Then we'll take a gander.
Tom, we're going to do a power ranking.
All right, let's see what we got.
Mine are, I'm a little disappointed in myself. Mine are too, I'm not trying to annoy you anymore. Sure. I've got the Broncos in the mix, and I think I'm trying to stay too true,
I get you.
How are we going to annoy Tom a little bit? I got it next week, since the Broncos will be on their bye. I got to go full blown annoy Grossi because this is ridiculous.
That's fair.
I mean, look at all the respect I gave to your dang Packers. I put them at 4 going into that game.
Yeah. I mean, they went toe to toe with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of are in the same. I was going to the Bills were my other potential #1 team, or it was going to be the Eagles. The only reason why the Lions were at 3 were because of the injuries.
Yeah.
So they got pushed down there. Yep.
Yeah. That's the only reason I dropped Detroit.
Yep. Steelers in the top 5. The Chiefs hanging around there. Yeah. This is too normal.
I suspended the entire Texans from power rankings.
They're all gone. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
Appreciate the sport night. Appreciate y'all. Uh-oh. What are you getting?
Okay.
This can't end well.
Everybody bitching about the curse wheel. I have found the flaw. The flap, the little flap at the top of it, Tom, it's broken. It's cracked. It has no resistance. That's the real problem.
I thought there wasn't any problem with it.
Luckily there's a backup flap. It's a little finger, so I've got to replace it. But I did my due diligence, and I was like, this flap is, it's loose. That's what's the issue.
I'm pretty sure isn't it uneven on the ground?
Well, it could be. It could be a little bit, but if the flap's strong enough, that doesn't really matter. But since there's no give to it, if it's slightly imbalanced, it's going to go back. It's going to do its thing.
Do you think it being slightly imbalanced is what tore it in the first place?
No, it being made with a cheap piece of shit plastic at the top is what did it.
So how do we think this one's gonna go?
I'm gonna forge the next one in the fires of hell.
Okay, well that's
I'm going
fine.
to Mordor, and I'm gonna make a little flap for it.
There you go. a little flap from Mordor. That's all. That's all. Hey, listen, that's fine. That's fine. I don't think
That's like the least offensive thing to call somebody to.
Yeah, that's
okay. Play on my name. I'll take it.
I wouldn't call Tucker Kraft.
You would burn people's childhood homes.
Yeah,
down.
I don't think you call Tucker Kraft anything other than sir. And thank you, sir. And have a good day.
Yeah, Tucker Kraft. We might be talking about Tucker in the Travis Kelce light one day. So
appreciate
I would not F with that man. Somebody needs to take that soundbite of him saying he's like, I will burn your childhood house down.
That's what he says to people.
Flip back up, burn your house down. Flip back up, burn your house down.
I
literally jumped up when he did that, Tom.
Dude.
Because I was like, oh, and then he did it. I was like, oh, yes.
Yep. Yeah, Adam, it's a great point. I mean, I think just to start that game, the Packers offense was so out of rhythm. It was awful, dude. I mean, again, kudos to the pass rush of the Lions getting it done, but I don't know what the hell they were trying to do. Like, it seemed like they were just trying to chuck it in the beginning of that game, and I don't know why. Like, that offense is at its best when it has that balanced attack, and that's why Josh Jacobs been so great this year. And now he's doing great in the red zone too, but being able to just run the ball. And there was just a lot of just handoff up the middle.
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem like there was a ton of nuance of the play calling last night.
Detroit was doing that too much too. It was like they couldn't even get away from the interior push. The interior of the Pats D-line bullied the Lions offensive line. You don't see that much. But I would like to Detroit needed to run some more screens to counter that or something. Anyway, but nobody's perfect. There's no perfect play calls. It's like you got to survive a underperforming quarter, and like both teams did. Just one team's got to win. So
close game. It was a close game. Drew, I think you could look at the officiating and call it inconsistent without taking away. Because again, I'm not taking anything away from the Detroit Lions. This is just another week of saying, hey, the refs are inconsistent in the NFL. Yeah. Shocker.
No, you're saying that level-headedly. And when you go onto the world of Twitter, the outrage is noticeable, and then you notice it was one-sided. But
yeah, I'm just going to be against a team that it's impacting 100%.
Yeah. And honestly, Detroit could get lopsided officiating for 6 more years straight before I'll start complaining. I mean, I did a video about all the times they got dicked with horrible calls.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That's the face, baby.
On a division game, yeah, I get it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I am above the bitching. Sure. If that were the Broncos, I would have been one of the loudest voices complaining. I'm not trying to sit on a high horse here, on a pedestal. I would be the most annoying fuck on Twitter if that happened to the Broncos. Okay? Let's be clear. As soon as it hurts my team or a team I don't want to win, I will be annoying and I will be loud. It was just an observation. I was like, oh man, how bad was this? It is angry Packers fans, and I understand it. Yeah. I got you would be more upset today. You're too level-headed for my liking.
I'm also exhausted. Yeah. But I mean, I think it was like a huge part of it, to be completely honest with you, is like, I'm not on Twitter during the games. Like, I'll literally like hop over and be like, and then just send it. And I'm not looking at anything because like I'm watching the game. So like, there's a couple times I was like, oh, don't like that. But
sometimes you'll get it from the chat, right? Where it's like, you can get a pulse on on something that's happening that you don't really see during the game because you're so disoriented from calling the game, trying to make sure you're staying true to everybody who's super chatting and making sure like if they got a question, you're answering it. And sometimes you miss something on the game, and then everybody watching will start commenting on it, and they're like, oh God, I didn't see it. I'll have to go back and look at that thing later.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my favorite things is like after a Broncos game, when you do go back onto social and there's like a thing that becomes like a huge talking point that you didn't maybe even fully realize during the game.
Oh, 100%.
And it's usually a bad call or a dirty play that a lot of people see or something weird that happened that you just missed.
Matt, I mean, because they did this with pass interference. Like they did it with like coaches challenging it. And again, sometimes they do reverse it, but then it's again, I think I've said this so many times, especially this year, because we have a human error in the game and it is promoted. You are getting different things from the broadcast. You are getting different games, like things from the game, just watching it live. You're getting different things from the officiating crew. And a lot of times those are conflicting, in which the broadcast saying that's a penalty. Refs are not throwing a penalty. Refs throw a penalty, and officiating crew's like, the broadcasting crew's like, I don't like that. That doesn't look like one. Or then we slow it down and we see it in slow motion. It looks 10 times worse than it is in real time. The problem is we have so much technology within the game, but the foundation of officiating is human error. And just, hey, it's subjective. Every single time. How many times we talked about that teams have to prepare for the officiating crews?
Yeah.
Like that's
even going back to the Broncos-Browns game.
Yeah.
Sometimes they miss the non-subjective ones.
Oh, I know.
Where Wyatt Teller jumped off sides on 4th and 1 for the Browns, and they didn't call it. Luckily, Denver got a stop after that, but that would have been one thing that if the Broncos lose that game, talk about being angry.
It's a difference maker. Yeah, I mean, dude, like there was missed holding calls for both sides. On top of that, like I just saw it this morning. The Lions were like lined up like in the neutral zone, and they didn't call. And again, like this, I'll never forget I forget which player I was talking to. But they're like, players are cheating on every single down, in which they are trying to get away with a hold, get away with a hands to the face, right? Get away with a defensive pass interference or an offensive pass interference. Yeah. And it's just a matter of, hey, if the refs don't call it, it didn't happen, right? Yeah. It's the famous Bill Belichick, right? With the gloves. What was that for Edelman? Like wearing, what was it? Like the red gloves, or the white gloves that it was standing out so you could see when he was holding. Yeah. Because they want to like have it be the opposing team's jersey, like color. That happens on every single play. And it's up to the officials who have a tough job to try and enforce that. Yeah. And to do that consistently is difficult. I will give them that. But again,
and there's also this line too, if we're like you're I guess like over policing a game for those things, it becomes incredibly annoying to watch that football game, right? And like the Seahawks approach used to be in their secondary, just beat the piss, hold, do whatever you want. Maybe they'll call it early, but they're not going to keep calling it on your secondary
over and over and over again.
And maybe that's Detroit's philosophy with their like pass interference, like just do it until they have to stop calling it at some point.
Well, dude, I mean, there was like 10 penalties in the first half.
Yeah.
Like there was so much laundry in that first half of that game.
Yeah. So, you want it just to be on both sides. You want
just want consistency.
If the secondary's getting away with a little contact, that's fine as long as both secondaries can do it, right?
Correct.
The one play Packers fans can be upset about was I like the no call. I love the no call where Jordan Love's face kind of gets hit by a hand or arm.
Yeah, it was really early on. He got hit in the head.
Yeah. But if you want to be mad, I understand that one because a lot of times it doesn't matter the intent. If a quarterback's face mask head gets touched, hit, or whatever, they throw the flag. That play, it wasn't an intentional sort of thing. It was like an arm hit it as they were like going around. I like the no call there. But I also understand if Packers fans are upset about that not getting called because, let's be honest, if it's a Mahomes, if it's a Josh Allen, if it's one of those protected quarterbacks in those situations, and I don't think Jordan Love is one of those guys yet.
No.
And I saw Bo Nix take a shot in that Browns game, didn't get the call. It's like he hasn't earned the right to get those calls.
It's the thing, dude. Like it is. I mean, I bring up Justin Fields all the time, and like Bears fans, they're like, dude, like he's getting killed out there. What are we doing? And we're not getting a single flag. I don't think this has anything to do with trust. If Jair comes back and he's locked down for the rest of the year and into the postseason, like I don't think he's not choosing to be injured.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's doing the best he can. And he's not getting out on the field. And I mean, I don't know what you do there. So I think they're going to bring him back. And at this point, we do not have the luxury of turning down any corner help. We don't have that luxury.
No, every team's got some like hole they're trying to fill. Lions
We need pass
linebacker.
rushers and we need corners pretty
Yeah,
badly right now.
Dude, Dan Skipper flopped so hard that he puked after the game.
Dude, holy crap.
I gotta
man.
respect
What
it.
a goddamn baby. Like,
I gotta
come on.
respect it though.
I don't respect
that's
it
an
at all.
Oscar-worthy
Like, you have
flop.
linemen flopping out here. Like, come on, man.
And
Just give me a break.
That one also made me laugh. And then watching him puke after the game.
Yeah,
and
Dan Campbell's like, keep puking over there.
keep puking, Skip. Holy
Dude,
shit.
Bills Lions is gonna be one of the best games we're gonna see this season, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
It
I have
would
no idea.
be-
I have no idea who
if
wins that
it-
game.
If it is Packers Lions in the championship game, it's going to be incredible.
Oh, dude, I hope. Like I said, I hope we get to see that third game. We were robbed of it last year. I hope we see it.
But
So we'll see.
we look at the rest of the games.
It's true, Double O. It's true. You're welcome. You're welcome. So that's it. Under 5 yards. Yeah, 1 for 5. Third downs. I mean, again, to be fair, the Lions defense, if they're not ranked the top, I'm pretty sure they're very close to the top in terms of the best third down defense. So that is, you got to give some credit to the Lions defense.
It was just two good football teams. That's all it was. That's all. We got to watch two good football teams on Thursday, and both teams coming off 7 days rest too. Like, I think that also helped make that game really good. It wasn't both teams coming off 3.5 days of rest.
Sure. Yeah. Dude, I mean, he didn't have any time in the first half to, and then he didn't have to do much. I mean, like, you look at that stat line from Jordan Love, and I think that's closer to a normal Jared Goff stat line. Like, in terms of just the amount of attempts. He just didn't have to throw the ball. He threw the ball, 20 times? It was 12 for 20.
Yeah. That Goff interception was bad too. That was a dumb decision.
I thought it was really good.
For you. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was a nice play.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Like, the offense in that first half, besides that one scoring drive, they did not get any kind of rhythm going on.
Yeah.
And once they had that big play with Watson, he fumbled the ball. And it was good to play by the defense there, but they couldn't get out of their own way. And again, kudos to that Lions defense and how they started that game, because they were getting pressure right away against the Packers.
It's hard to, if you're not staying on the field to have balance, to do the things you want to do.
So, I mean, the Lions, their type of game, besides scoring a bunch of points, is they control the clock. And they did it again yesterday, too. They had some long, sustained drives.
Yeah.
So, it hurt. Yeah, I'm starting 0-1. I got one wrong last week.
Yeah.
0-1. Yeah, I might be going to UNC, Mr. Bill Belichick. Billy B.
We'll see.
All right.
I already said I don't trust him around those college kids, Bailey. Don't trust that old bastard around co-eds.
Double O, I think it could be super fun.
Spring break.
Yeah, Double O, I think it's going to be, again, the postseason for the NFC is going to be fun. Like, we see any iteration of, like, Eagles, Packers, Eagles, Lions, Lions, Packers. And I'm imagining
I think the Vikings could be that team too.
Vikings, again, especially against the division. Yeah, we'll see how the Vikings are going to finish out their season too. But we'll see. Hey, AC/DC, let's go, baby. Let's go. I love Josh Jacobs.
Oh, nice.
Love him very much.
AC/DC.
Enjoy.
Back in the States again.
Jaguars, Titans.
Who cares?
We go from the Thursday night classic to, I picked the Titans. Trevor Lawrence is out for the year, got put on IR.
Yeah.
Will Levis is looking better. So
He's
that's
been
kind of
playing
good.
better football. He has.
He has.
He had a nice game last week.
Yeah. Did you put my P on the curse wheel?
I did.
After I gave you a gift.
Dude,
I
you
remember
gave me
this,
the greatest gift.
I'm going to remember this.
But that was $100 donation.
Okay.
That's $100 donation I had to honor.
Okay.
It didn't get cursed. It's safe.
That's Dan Campbell going for it on fourth down at the end of that game going, we won. What's wrong? All right. I see you. I see you.
I'm not going to deny.
That's what did it. Oh, God. Then this game.
You're welcome, Mud City. You're welcome.
Jets, Dolphins. I picked the Dolphins to win just because I don't believe in the Jets at all. Being played in Miami, the Dolphins are still fighting for their playoff lives. The Jets are fighting for I don't know what they're fighting for. I wouldn't be surprised if New Jersey wins, but I went with the Dolphins here.
Man, this feels like a game the Jets are going to win.
That the Legion of whom?
Yeah. I'm going to do this out of loyalty to Mike McDaniel and Tua, though. A Legion of whom?
Because they had that is I don't know
actually,
if that's or not, but
whom
that's
is never correct.
That is fantastic. No, absolutely. Yeah, they should go and then scream in their face, 100%. All about it. Yeah, Falcons, Vikings. I picked the Vikings here. The Vikings are not winning pretty, but at least they're winning games, and the Falcons are not even doing that. So,
yeah, Atlanta's got to prove to me Kirk Cousins can play football.
And their defense looked good against the Chargers too.
The first
time.
If
you were asking, like, why aren't the Chargers in your top 10? It's because they barely beat a bad Falcons team, and Kirk Cousins threw a cajillion interceptions. And again, I still think the Chargers are good. I think they're a top 12 team. They might be sitting at 11, but yeah, the Falcons are not good.
The Chargers, you're right. Like, only beating a team by what was this final score? Was it 17-12 or 14?
Something like that.
Something dumb. If you get 4 interceptions and that's all you score, that's concerning.
It's true. Yeah. So I got the Vikings. They've been edging out some close games. The Kirk Cousins revenge game. I don't know if that revenge is going to be very sweet, though. This game.
Adam said the Giants have committed to the tank, and I agree with him. They've got no business winning this one.
Yeah, we'll see, Woody. I'm very curious how JJ is going to play. Yeah, I got the Saints winning this game. Again, this is not going to be good. Taysom Hill's out for the year, so we are stuck just watching Derek Carr. This is going to be a bad game. I can't imagine what tickets on. You know what? Now I'm curious. Where do we think the cheapest ticket is? In MetLife, so they're always super expensive for a Giants Saints game.
$38.
All right, let's see.
Can you get a $38 ticket to the Giants game?
Nope. It's not $38.
Darn.
Hold on. Real quick. $12.
Whoa!
12 macaroonies. $12 at MetLife.
$12.
15. A lot of 15s. 16. Oh boy.
$1.
Hey, you could sit pretty close to the bench for $2.95.
$7.50. Get out of here.
Good God, dude. Yeah, no, you could not pay me to go to that game. Okay, sorry. Just wanted
to pay me to go to any football game.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Adam. So a Lions fan was like on the field for like the anthem, and then started taunting Packers players, and then got in LaFleur's face, and Bud thinks he's
nothing more American than a football head coach yelling at a fan during the national anthem.
That's true.
That's the America I live in.
Panthers been playing better. Eagles are a very good football team. Yeah, I think this might be a tough game for Bryce Young. If Bryce Young is able to do well against this defense, then oh boy, even more excitement. And for the Panthers, it's even better because they're looking good, but they're losing still. So getting that top draft pick. So it's kind of best of both worlds.
Here's what Panthers fans should do. If Bryce Young plays poorly in this game, move on from him. Be like, hey, he didn't elevate against a good defense. He can be an okay quarterback moving forward, but not the answer. If he picks apart this defense, then no, he is your future. This is the game for Bryce Young. I'm trying to put some weight in this game for Panthers fans. Why you should watch this game. You're determining Bryce Young's future based on this one game.
I don't think it's a rookie mistake because the Packers, if they're able to capitalize and score right before halftime and then they get the ball right after half, that's what they like to do. That's why you're doubling down. And that's a pretty traditional view of the game.
Almost all coaches prefer to defer
almost
to the second
every
half.
single one. So I don't think it's I don't think it's there. I can't really complain. Well, now you're not allowed to take any pictures of the drug tests from the players. Now you get fined. They reiterated that. You saw that?
Yeah.
$15,000. So
But they upped the THC limit, right?
yeah,
Almost like
so.
2.5. You're going to have 2.5 amount of the weed inside you.
That's what I'm saying. Packers had opportunities to win that football game. If you leave it down to come down to the refs, it's not going to be a fun time. You can be upset with the officiating. There's nothing wrong with that.
Look at that.
Had opportunities.
You know what? I'm going
this
Cleveland.
Game, you're going Cleveland?
I'm going Cleveland.
Yeah.
They beat them once in the snow.
I went with Pittsburgh, but I get you.
I'm only going against the grain. Like, my picks have been terrible this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Russ overperformed against the Bengals defense. If he lights up the Browns, there will be no more doubt for me in Russ for the Steelers moving forward.
Sure.
And it's not a hate on Russ thing. It's just I was in that relationship. The red flags are still there for me, even though he's coming off a great performance. The Broncos showed you can attack the Bengals defense, okay?
Slow the game down,
and Russ will take deep shots, just like we were watching Bo Nix do. Like, it's what Russ does better than Bo Nix. He is miles ahead of Bo Nix with his deep ball, in my opinion.
Jordan, what a fake for the kitty. Hold on. Yes, I know exactly what clip you want, Jordan. I got you. Hold on.
No! Make him come. No! They're Minnesota Vikings crying on the field.
I don't even know if that's the clip that you want, but that's the one that I wanted to play. I think we are about to answer a hotly debated question. Which is worse, the Bengals defense or Levi Wallace? That is going to be the age-old question because Russell Wilson able to do all things he did against that Bengals defense, and Jameis Winston able to do all things against Levi Wallace. Yeah. So we are about to see who is worse, because if Cleveland comes out and they look like hot garbage, this is going to be AFC North football. It's going to be a mess. It should be a decently fun game, but I would imagine this one's going to be a little bit more low scoring. But hey, maybe they throw both defenses out the window. I just don't think they're going to go that way. Yeah,
I think the Steelers have a great opportunity here, and I just feel like the Steelers are a team that are going to keep it too close for comfort for their fan base.
That's fair.
Steelers can't get there. It's going to be, I think we find out over the next few games for the Steelers exactly who they are, and they have the makings to be a dangerous team in the playoffs. I want to play the Steelers, like I've said, not because I think the Broncos can beat them. I just want that matchup. But we'll see. Yeah. It's going to come down to Jameis. Is he going to throw 2 pick sixes? Keep praying to get those pick sixes out of your system, Jameis.
Yep.
Get your salvation, my friend.
I got the Buccaneers. They didn't play too well against the Panthers, but they got the win. They're still trying to get into the postseason. Hey, they'd be above 500 with a win here. And if the Falcons lose like a bunch of us are anticipating, they'd have a better record than the Falcons.
Yeah. You will see Max Crosby lining up opposite of Tristan Wirfs a lot.
Yeah.
Crosby is one of the best, and I hope to see him and Wirfs go at it because it's best versus best right there. But I think he'll just go to the other side.
Yep. You're not wrong.
Woo-wee.
That's right. Tampa Buccaneers, they done did it.
There we go. 51-49.
This legitimately has so much at stake for the postseason, for the NFC West in this game. The Cardinals losing to the Seahawks a couple weeks ago. Now they get them back again. If the Seahawks win this game, they are going to create a pretty decent cushion.
Yeah, that's why they're going to lose.
Division.
They are not going to give themselves a cushion.
You got the Cardinals?
Yeah. This is a game that the Seahawks should win. This is a game. I think the Seahawks are a better football team. My brain says Seahawks win. Based on how the NFC West is shaking out, no way they win this game. No way.
So because he jumps on the pile late one time compared to the other injuries that we're talking about, which you could say might be a pattern. I don't know how we're comparing both. You could say that that's not right regardless. I agree with that. I completely agree with that. But yeah, no, dude, I have no idea about that Cardinals-Seahawks game. I picked the Cardinals to win, but I have zero faith. I have zero faith in either team. This might wind up being a tie. Like again, the Seahawks, they were able to dominate that last game. And if their defense shows up, I would not be surprised if Seattle wins.
That would be so tight if it was a tie.
It might be. You imagine just mess up the playoffs even more? Because why not? Andrew, you never know. You never know.
Who knows?
Like, I don't. I want to see Lions Eagles, man. I want to see that game. I want to see it so bad. But
yeah, because the Philly, like Green Bay, they got a good defensive front. So we think of the Lions' offensive line as kind of immovable, but they showed they can be moved.
Dude, yeah. Bills Lions, that's coming up. That one is going to be a game of the year. I can't wait. Yeah. Speaking of the Bills, I got the Bills getting a win against Matthew Stafford here.
Yeah. Sorry, Matty Ice.
I think that's Matt Ryan, but
I call Matt Stafford Matty Ice just to confuse people.
That's fair.
I call Matt Ryan Phillip Rivers. So.
Okay.
Matty Seaman.
Yeah. Can we not with freaking Timmy P? You're killing me.
Tim Patrick. I wish he was there too for Bo. I wish Tim was there for Bo. But I like what Devon Vele's doing. All right.
The Bills.
Look at this.
I picked the Bears.
So do I.
Oh, baby.
I'm going Bears as well. Caleb Williams.
Oh, baby.
6 games without a pick. Only quarterback to lose all those games.
They're on a pretty good losing streak right now, but the 49ers are beat to hell. Yeah. Brock Purdy will be playing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers win, but the Bears, like all these heartbreaking losses, literally 3 divisional losses, maybe they get one here. Maybe
they get one. I feel Bears too. This to me is the most important game of the week. It's a big game for both teams.
I thought you were saying Bears, Chicago. I thought you were still having
no. Okay. Chiefs, Chargers. And unfortunately, I have to kind of root for the Chiefs here because a Chargers loss is better for the Broncos. Oh.
Real quick, HTS, so a low-seeded team. I mean, I think the Packers could be that team in the NFC. And whoever doesn't win the AFC North, maybe, because they'll be bumped down to at least the 5 seed.
Yeah.
Potential.
Colts. It'd have to be the Colts in the AFC.
Colts, I think, in terms of just they could still win their division.
Yeah.
You know, they're just going to have to show up these next few weeks.
I think the Broncos, basically, they just got to win 2 games, and they'll be all right. But
killing me.
I'm taking the Chargers because I want the Chiefs to win.
Mm-hmm.
And those devil-worshipping fucks will lose just to piss me off. The Chiefs will lose the one game I want them to win just to piss me off, and they'll still end up with the 1 seed. They're still going to end up with the 1 seed, Kansas City, even when they lose this game. I know it. I just know it. I'll be rooting for them for the first time since actually when I wanted them to beat the Patriots.
It's been a while.
And they're gonna punch me in the nuts. They're gonna make me sick. I'm looking at their stupid logo right now, and it is taunting me, Tom. It is holding a middle finger to my soul. Chargers, show us something.
I picked the Chiefs to win. The Chargers did not look good last week. They had what I think was like 32 or 35 rushing yards with Gus the Bus. Not having J.K. Dobbins is a huge loss to that offense. And while their defense is still good, I think it'll be a close game. Being played at Arrowhead, Pacheco back for another game. I think the Chiefs should be able to win this one.
Nice. Is that Mad Fanatic, Brandon? Go check out the Mad Fanatic.
There you go. Trying, Tinker. Trying. That's that.
I only get to listen to one song, and that is "Girl on Fire." Brandon,
Carmi's all about it right now.
Favorite song. It's all I hear.
It's a great song.
It's in my head.
Great song.
Oh, also, our guy Joe, who helped with the Bo Leave song, did the Bo Leave song. They played it on the sports radio here the other day, and they were not fans. They were not fans of the song, and I got a beef with Altitude now. I got a beef with Vic Lombardi. I got a beef with the Altitude crew. Didn't understand the assignment, the context behind the song.
Mm.
And they poo-pooed on it. All right, last game.
Hey, we love
It's
Brandon
the
for his
Simpsons
unbalanced play.
game.
This game, yeah, I picked the Bengals to win. The thing that can make a difference for me is Micah Parsons looked really damn good against the Giants. It is the Giants. Rico Dowdle was running better against the Giants. The Bengals do not have a good defense.
Yeah,
though.
so that's what I'm saying.
Like the offense is going to be better, but considering the Bengals' offensive line woes as well, if Parsons is able to get back there, it could be a problem.
Yeah.
And Knight with a fitting.
Yes. I'm going to go with Cincy as well. I just think Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they have played too well to lose to the Cowboys. This is a team that's going to lose a lot of games, but not to Dallas. Not to this version of the Cowboys. If Dak was out there, who knows? But yeah, I'll take the Bengals here. Who's Bart and who's Homer in this game?
That's a great question. I mean, both are just being beat to hell. So
the Northman. I'm Zadarius the Northman.
Dude, had a sack last night. Because of course.
You like football?
Yeah, I do.
We do too.
I do. Appreciate you, Nyko. Dude, I mean, he literally only plays for North teams. We just got to wait for him to go to the Chicago Bears now. So he'll be on there next year. Just keep on moving along bit by bit. Pull my hair out. I picked the Steelers. Yeah, I picked the Steelers. I don't know. It's going to, what is this? All right. I think it's going to be a close, it's an AFC North game, right? It's going to be an assault on the senses, on the eyes, on the ears, taste buds, shockingly enough. All right.
Yeah. The Steelers have a great chance to win that game. It's not like a slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
But they did not play the Browns particularly well last time. So,
dude, I mean, I think that this has been a talk now for the past few times. The Lions have had the Packers number, right? The Packers were able to win that last year on Thanksgiving, but dude, they ended the season ended Aaron Rodgers' career as a Packer. You know what I mean? They have had the Packers number for a while by playing really tough physical football. And the good news is, again, they went toe-to-toe with them last night, injuries on both sides. And then we'll see what happens come postseason. But it's a rivalry, man.
Yeah, I don't think
it's a time.
Look, the Packers are a good football team. That's the difference.
We actually did answer this beforehand, and I said, yes, week 18, because I remember exactly what your question was. Week 18, yes, it's usually division rivals, and then they flex somebody to Sunday Night Football. So, yes, they usually have all the divisional teams playing against one another because they want for the best matchups and who's going to make the playoffs.
They changed that rule all week. Last week of the season was all division games.
Yep.
Just
rewind to the game show. Hey, don't sleep on the Rams. I don't know. They're just too inconsistent
they could beat
for me. I love Verse. Verse is having a great year, dude. He's playing really, really well. They're just a little too inconsistent for me to be super confident in the Rams right now. And the Bills are playing phenomenal football.
Yeah, Bills tough. Bills offensive line, check.
Yeah.
Bills are they getting the weapons back? Where's the Bills injury report? They getting Kincaid and Coleman back? Milano's not going to be playing on ice. Let's see here. God damn it. Just give me the right. All these websites. I hate you.
It happens. Yeah, Coleman
injury
and
report. Just show me the stupid injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Yeah, let's see.
Wednesday. Yeah, thank you for the Wednesday update website, you dumb idiot.
Sam thinks that Coleman is still out.
Is he? Okay.
Which honestly, this might sound controversial. Let him rest.
Yeah.
Let him rest. You clinch the division. At worst, you're going to be the 4 seed, which I don't think they're going to lose that many games. But let him rest.
Kincaid limited, Coleman limited. Yeah, who knows?
Michelle, it's a great question. Yeah, real quick before we get out of here. They might do Vikings Lions. They could. Right now, no.
Broncos Chiefs
Broncos maybe.
Flexed. If Kansas City loses a game and they got to win that game for the 1 seed, and the Broncos are, they've got to win to stay in the the Broncos might have it clinched at the 7 seed. That might be why that game doesn't get bumped.
Yeah, honestly, the only 2 games I see are Chiefs, Broncos, Vikings, Lions. Because, real quick, this is a stinky week 18. Hold on. Like, there's the teams, are the majority of them are out of it. So, here, it's not going to be this, right? Because the Browns are going to be out of it at that point. No, no, maybe Chiefs, Broncos, Seahawks, Rams. That has potential.
Whoa, yeah.
NFC West is still a mess. That could wind up deciding something.
That would make a lot of sense if the Rams can win a couple, and if they can beat Seattle to clinch the division, then that would be the game that gets flexed.
This could be here. No, because the Titans are out of it. God, no. No. This could be Vikings, Lions, because, dude, if the Vikings wind up winning a bunch of these games, like it could decide the division. We'll see what happens.
Vikings just have 2 losses, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and again, they had to play week 18. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Commanders, Cowboys. That's maybe you have 2 teams that are trying to get in there.
Dude,
I don't think it's
if that game gets flexed, Scooter will be he will be elated because his 3% chance of the Cowboys having a shot will be true.
It's true. No, God, no, because I don't think Saints will win, and it's not going to be that. So I think you have 3 options. You have Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, Rams, and then Chiefs, Broncos.
Yeah.
Those are your most likely games, I would assume. Sorry, following. I know it's a tough time. I know it's right now.
And the Broncos one would be cool because that would be the second game that got flexed for them this year.
Yeah.
And it doubles their primetime games because they had 2 primetime games this year, which is low for them. And if they get 4 because they're in the playoff race there and that game matters, then that's rebuild success. Success.
Agreed. Partner, what do you got coming out today, brother?
Andrew Luck,
finally.
the most unique quarterback in NFL history. We'll be dropping as soon as I got to get one little section added this morning, and then we'll do it. It's a good video. God, I love Andrew Luck. That's all.
True story.
I just love him so much more now. You're gonna love Andrew Luck if you watch it.
I guarantee it. Friday night Q&A might throw out a skit in between there too. I'm also gonna likely announce it either today or tomorrow. The fundraising stream, which is happening December the 21st. We're gonna rock and roll. We are not doing an 8-hour stream this year. We're doing at least an 11-hour one. So
whoa,
yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna rock.
I don't know if I can make it yet.
It's all good.
I'm just putting it out there. I will talk to Tom right now.
But folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on a Monday for another edition of GPS. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, GPS. And you have been navigated.
On the edge.
All right, 11 hours of doing both games.